where the moonlight glows. Zombies lurking everywhere, that's how the story goes. Grab your gear, hold on tight.
Welcome to the Zombie Story Zone. Get ready for a thrilling ride as we bring you spine-chilling tales from the world of the undead. Tonight, we dive into a unique blend of survival, mystery, and unexpected twists with our story, Zombieland Sleigh Ride. Follow a group of survivors as they attempt to hijack a mysterious sleigh to escape a zombie-infested city, only to uncover a dark, sinister secret about their so-called salvation. If you love captivating zombie stories and want to keep up with more exciting content, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and press the bell icon so you never miss an update. Share this story with your friends and fellow zombie enthusiasts. We'd love to hear from you. Drop your thoughts in the comments section and let us know what you think about the story and how we can make our content even better for you. Your feedback is invaluable to us. Let's keep the thrill alive.
Story Zone, we survive the night.
The snow fell in thick, lazy flakes, blanketing the desolate streets of what was once the bustling city of Pinecrest. Christmas lights still flickered sporadically across the city, casting eerie glows on the broken windows and abandoned storefronts. The air carried a bitter chill, and with it, the low, guttural moans of the undead. Claire adjusted her scarf and tightened her grip on the baseball bat in her right hand. Her knuckles were raw from the cold, but she couldn't afford to lose focus. Every shadow was a potential threat, every sound a possible sign of danger. She glanced over at Jack, who was walking a few paces ahead, his crossbow at the ready. His jaw was set, his blue eyes scanning their surroundings with military precision. She had met Jack 3 months ago, during an ambush at the grocery store. Since then, they'd been inseparable, bound by survival and a flicker of something deeper they dared not acknowledge. "This is insane," Claire muttered under her breath, her voice muffled by the scarf. Jack stopped and turned to her. "You got a better idea?" he asked, raising an eyebrow. Claire sighed, her breath visible in the icy air. "I just don't see how hijacking Santa's sleigh is going to help us. It's not like he's going to let us borrow it and fly out of here." Jack smirked, the corner of his mouth quirking up in a way that made Claire's stomach flip. "It's not really Santa, Claire. It's some guy with a sleigh and reindeer who's somehow survived this long. If he's smart enough to stay alive, he's got something we need. And if he's crazy?" she countered. "Then we deal with it." Jack's tone was firm, but there was a softness in his eyes when he looked at her. "We've made it this far. We'll make it out of here, too." Claire wanted to believe him. She wanted to believe that there was still a way out of this nightmare, a chance for something resembling a normal life. But hope was a dangerous thing in Zombieland. It had a way of getting you killed. They continued through the snow-covered streets, the silence between them punctuated by the occasional distant growl of a zombie. The sleigh was supposedly located in the Pinecrest Mall, which had become a rumored safe zone, or a death trap, depending on who you asked. As they approached the mall, the Christmas decorations came into sharper focus. A giant inflatable Santa lay deflated and crumpled on the ground, its jolly face twisted into something grotesque. Claire shivered, and not just from the cold. "Stay close," Jack whispered, motioning for her to follow him. They entered through a broken side door, stepping into the eerie quiet of the mall. The only light came from the glowing decorations and the occasional flicker of a malfunctioning fluorescent bulb. The sleigh was in the center of the mall, surrounded by fake snow and reindeer statues. But as they drew closer, Claire's unease grew. The sleigh didn't look like a prop. Its metal gleamed ominously under the flickering lights, and the reins attached to the reindeer were made of something far too real. "What the hell is this?" Claire whispered. Jack frowned, examining the sleigh. "It's not what I expected." Before they could investigate further, a noise behind them made Claire whirl around. A man emerged from the shadows, his face gaunt and his eyes wild. He was dressed in a tattered Santa suit, the white fur stained with blood. "Stay back!" Claire shouted, raising her bat. The man chuckled, a sound that sent chills down her spine. "You want a sleigh," he said, his voice hoarse. "But you don't know the price." "We're not here to hurt you," Jack said cautiously, his crossbow trained on the man. "We just need a way out of the city." The man's laughter grew louder, more unhinged. "You think the sleigh will save you? It's not salvation. It's a curse." Claire exchanged a worried glance with Jack. "What do you mean?" she asked. The man's expression darkened. "The sleigh runs on more than just magic. It needs fuel." "Fuel?" Jack echoed, suspicion lacing his voice. The man didn't answer. Instead, he stepped aside, revealing a large sack at the base of the sleigh. Claire's stomach turned when she realized it was moving, something inside was alive. Suddenly, the sack burst open, and a swarm of undead creatures, small, childlike zombies with glowing red eyes, poured out. They moved with terrifying speed, their shrieks echoing through the mall. "Run!" Jack shouted, grabbing Claire's hand and pulling her toward the sleigh. They scrambled into it as the zombie children closed in, their tiny hands clawing at the metal sides. "Do something!" Claire screamed, her heart pounding. Jack grabbed the reins and snapped them hard. The sleigh jolted forward, the reindeer statues coming to life with a guttural roar. The sleigh shot through the mall, crashing through walls and sending debris flying. Claire clung to the edge, her knuckles white. As they burst out of the mall and into the snowy night, the sleigh rose into the air. Claire's breath caught in her throat as the city spread out below them, a patchwork of destruction and flickering lights. For a brief moment, she felt a glimmer of hope. They were flying. They were escaping. But then she looked at Jack and saw the fear in his eyes. "What's wrong?" she asked, her voice shaking. "The sleigh, it's not stopping," he said, his hands gripping the reins tightly. "I don't think we're in control." Claire's heart sank. The sleigh climbed higher and higher, the air growing thinner and colder. Below them, the city disappeared, replaced by endless white snowfields. "Where is it taking us?" Claire asked, her voice barely audible over the howling wind. Jack didn't answer. He didn't know. Hours passed, or maybe minutes, time seemed to lose all meaning. The sleigh finally began to descend, landing in a remote clearing surrounded by dense forest. The air was eerily still, and the only sound was the soft crunch of snow beneath their boots as they stepped out of the sleigh. Claire shivered, her breath visible in the freezing air. "What now?" Jack looked around, his crossbow at the ready. "We find out what this place is." They didn't have to look far. A large wooden cabin stood at the edge of the clearing, its windows glowing with warm light. But the warmth was deceptive. Something about the cabin felt wrong. As they approached, the door creaked open, revealing a woman in a long red cloak. Her eyes were sharp and piercing, and her smile didn't reach them. "Welcome," she said, her voice smooth and cold. "You've come a long way." "Who are you?" Jack demanded, his weapon aimed at her. The woman chuckled. "I'm the keeper of the sleigh. And you are its new drivers." "What does that mean?" Claire asked, her stomach twisting with dread. The woman's smile widened. "The sleigh doesn't just fly. It hunts. It needs the energy of the undead to function. You've seen the fuel. Now you must gather more." Jack shook his head. "No way. We're not doing that." "You have no choice," the woman said, her tone icy. "The sleigh is bound to you now. If you refuse, it will take your lives." Claire felt the weight of the woman's words settle over her like a heavy blanket. She looked at Jack, her heart aching at the thought of what they had to do to survive. "We can't," she whispered. "There has to be another way." Jack reached for her hand, his grip firm and reassuring. "We'll find one. I promise." But as the woman's laughter echoed through the clearing, Claire realized that promises were as fragile as the snowflakes falling around them. The night was far from over.
It's a wild